Hey pilots, DrainMan here, and today I have got a very special video. In today's video, we are going to be building the Dream Micro for any Fettec fan. This is going to be awesome. We are going to use a Fettec frame with Fettec motors, with Fettec stack, all Fettec. So if you like Fettec, and maybe if you don't like Fettec, maybe after this you will. Let's go. Alright pilots, so I'm going to be using the Fettec Gravity 1 or the FG1. That is a 2.5-inch micro frame by Fettec. You may not even have known that Fettec has a frame. Most people don't. I'm excited because I'm going to be putting the Fettec Mini all-in-one 15-amp board, and this is a all-in-one board. It's just one little board with everything on it, flight controller, ESC, everything, and it's awesome. I looked it over, can't wait to try it. I can only imagine if the 5-inchers fly the way they do, that this is going to fly good too. Our motor choice is these awesome little Fettec motors. These are 1303 0.6 55 kV motors, and they come in a really cool black and bluish slash tealish color. Very nice. Also, to put the icing on the cake, and yes, that is right, I got myself here the Nebula Pro Nano. So I needed the Nano because of the micro, but I also wanted the Pro. So I've got the Nebula Pro Nano, and that comes in a Vista kit, and you may be asking, how am I going to fit this on there? So I've got a nice little treat for you, and let's go ahead and get this popping. So the first thing I want to do is get our frame together, and let's see what comes inside of this package. Ooh, everything you need to build a Gravity 1. So we've got some 3D printed stuff, we've got our standoffs, and full frame with arms and even some mounting gear. So that's really nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this guy together. Look at this. This is super awesome. This is the cutest little thing I've ever seen. Holy cow, huh? Fettec. Dude, this is sick. Look at that. Now, there's a double awesomeness. Check this out. You've got 2 sets of standoffs. So you're building a micro, you don't have a lot of space, you've got to get your stack in there. Maybe you're a guy like me, you're trying to put HD, you need the space. Well, guess what? They've actually given you 2 complete sets of standoffs so you can raise the height of the frame if you want to get more in there. We're going to go ahead and get this stack opened up. We've got a all-in-one 15 amp. There she is. Woo-hoo-hoo. This right here could do a whole video all by itself, and let me know if you're interested in that, because I've got a whole playlist just for Fettec and KISS stuff. I'll link that for you, but if you're interested more about that, let me know. Next up, we've got our motors. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Fettec motors. Let's go ahead and crack these puppies open. Look at that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each one comes with a set of screws. I'm hoping we have mounting screws, which yes, we do. And we also have the screws that are needed as your prop nuts, because it's T-style props. Next up, we've got the Nebula Pro Nano kit. Let's go ahead and crack this puppy open. I want to show you guys what we got here. Now, due to the fact that this is a very small quad, so what I've done is, we need the space, I have gone with a nano, not a micro. It is a very little guy. So there we go. Whew. All right, instructions box like usual. And look at that. Holy cow. To think that we have HD technology in this. Look at this. This is so... Guys, this is like the size of a prop nut. I mean, it's little. Wow, that is awesome. Full Vista, full power, full specs, full digital with this little bitty camera. What we've got now is we've got this big old hunk, and if we take a look at our frame, I mean, that's tight. So that's not going to work. I hate to pop my own bubble. So we're going to have to do a very special maneuver to make this happen. So I want you to keep your eyes on this guy right here. Woohoo! That is right. I took the Nebula Pro Nano full Vista unit and I went ahead and stripped it down and made it naked. So check that out. It's nothing but 2 PCB boards and a camera. Alright, so we will set our top plate to the side. And so here's what we got. The original standoffs, the stack mounting screws that come with this frame are not going to be high enough to fit this naked Vista and then also fit the flight controller. So I went ahead and dug up some others. I got them right here. What we'll do is we'll pull these out one by one and then we will install our longer ones. Now I'm not going to go all the way because I don't want my frame to fall apart. This is a big part of what's holding the frame together. So we'll start with the very first one, and I'm not going to move around a lot. I'm going to just get it right in to prevent my frame from falling apart. Now camera needs to go forward and wiring and stuff needs to go backwards. Now before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set that aside. I just realized I need to get this ready. So let's get my soldering iron. So the first thing I'll do is I'll tin all of these wires one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, don't tin them together. 5 and 6. Okay. So our wires are now tinned. So let's go ahead and solder them up. Now, mind you, this is going to sit like this. So I'm going to try to give an upward angle because normally your Vista's in the back, stack is in the front, running wires across. That's not what's happening here. I'm actually going to be running the wires up and over like a stack, like we're creating a HD stack. So I'm going to start with my power, and I will give a downward bend. And these are very small. Now we will head over to... Now let me stop. If you are going to be using Crossfire or whatever, you would not solder these last two. This is just because I run the DJI radio. Now, there are pads on top, FYI. So I could have ran inside those pads, but remember, I'm mounting like this, and then I'm looping this up, right? Look how nice that looks. So that's why I wanted to do it that way. Nice and strong, and I've got plenty of length. I'll cut it to what suits each wire, because one may stop here, one may stop here, so on and so forth. Let's clip on our antenna. Now, here's our antenna mount. They didn't give us much. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of floppy, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to feed it through here and clip it on. That will sit right there. And we're going to have to figure out what to do about this antenna. But hey, that may work just fine. We'll see when we get there. One thing at a time, huh? If I didn't need space between the Vista and the frame, I would not be concerned with these standoffs, but I need it. Look at that. We have an entire Vista HD DJI digital system in this little 2-inch drone, huh? All right, so now we're ready to get the stack ready. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put on our XT30 lead. It is a micro, so I'm gonna do 30, not 60. I'm gonna tin that up. Boom. Let's tin this. And it's a small board, so you want to be careful soldering. I mean, it's easy to mess this up. So there's our ground. And, ooh. So that's that. Ready to go with a nice XT30. The next thing I need to do is I need to make sure that this is going to work as far as TX, RX, that whole ordeal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over, okay? And I'll put it just like this. Holy cow, look at that. That's RX and that is TX. Wow. That is some tight soldering. So, but we're going to make this happen, so wish me luck. And you got to be very careful. RX is right here, which is going to get TX. There you go. And the other one is literally right here. Oh my gosh. That is such a small pad. Whew. We may have to put that in the microscope and check it, huh? Alright, so coming off of here, we got to take our RX and TX. Somehow I pulled it off. And then we'll check this one. I don't know what I was complaining about. That was easy. Okay, so our RX and TX are done. So when I spin this board, boom, we can mount like that. You like that? Good, because I do too. So now let's get some grommets put on this thing because we're going to go ahead and mount it. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. There's our stack ready to go. Look at that, huh? Let's get some nuts on here so nothing bad happens. Now, just for the record, we can reach both plugs, so it's safe to lock this down nice and tight because we'll be able to do all of our setup, all of our program. We'll be able to do everything with it assembled. There you go. Soft mounted, tight, and ready to go. So now we'll go ahead and solder up the rest of this. So here is our power and ground for our Vista. And look at that, we actually have a battery pad right there. So I'm going to take advantage of that. That is tight. That is some tight wiring. All right, so let's go ahead and hit the last two. We just need our S-bus and our ground, or our signal and our ground. And that is only if you are doing a DJI radio like I am. So signal and ground. Now with a Vista, it can take full-blown power, so I've just soldered it to battery, but this is just a 3S quad, so it'll be enough to power it. And hey, if you were doing a full-size air unit, which wouldn't fit, you would also be okay because of the voltage. Boom. Now let's go ahead and trim them. And there it is. We've got our signal and our ground. So our entire Vista is now soldered up and ready to go. What we need to do now is mount these motors. So we've got these awesome, cute little motors, and I will just stick them right on the arm and put my screws in. So I'm going to grab a little bit of heat shrink, and then what I'll do is I'll just cut it right down the middle like that. And before I do a motor, I'll just slide it right over the arm, and that way I can feed the wires through and have a nice, neat way to keep my wires kept down. We'll go through and through. Through and two. So that's pretty awesome. They've given us plenty of screws. Okay. So there it is. Our first motor is on and looking good. Then we'll take it. So before I solder them up, I'll use my heat gun and I'll shrink this to make sure my wires stay nice and clean. And there you go. And then we'll solder those 3 wires right there. So I'll grab my cutters and I will trim them. These are very small wires, but should do just fine. So let's tin this up. 1, 2, and 3. And now let's solder them. Two. And 3. So with that motor on and ready to go, you've seen how I've done it, you see how it's done. I'll hit the other 3 and then we'll meet back here. I am so excited. Look at this thing. It is really coming together. I mean, wow, isn't that beautiful? These motors are really awesome looking with that teal and black. Fettec on Fettec on Fettec. If you like it, you gotta love it. Look at that. And it's strong. We put the black heat shrink to hold down our wires, looking nice and good. We've got 4 screws in each motor, perfectly aligned. Look at that. Now, while I was at it, I was soldering up some motor wires, and I noticed that I could just put a zip tie right here. It would hold this, and it would also prevent it from popping off, because when we made the Vista naked, we also removed the clip that holds the UFL on. All right. We are getting there and we are looking good. The only thing left to do is to mount our camera, which, I mean, as easy as that. So I'm going to grab these 3D printed standoffs that came with it, and I'm going to put it on real quick. Boom. We probably need to go down a little bit of the way and loop our camera cable. Look at that, huh? That nano fits perfect. Okay, look at this. I'm getting ready to put on my top plate, and I noticed we have mounting right here. So if for whatever reason we could have mounted flight controller from here and maybe Vista from the bottom, something like that. That's pretty cool, huh? So let's grab some screws and put our top plate on. And the way that they did this is they didn't just put standoffs on the back and on the back, because they could have. You could have had 2 here, 2 here, they're done, they saved money. But no, they didn't do that. They actually put standoffs, 1 here, doubled up here. I mean, you've got some support with this guy, which is pretty awesome. So I feel like we're going to be able to take a crash or 2 and maybe be okay. It is a micro, so they're not that strong, but they're also a lot smaller. So when they hit, they don't hit as hard. Boom. So our top plate is in. Motors are on. Look at that. I mean, it literally just fits in the palm of my hand. This is the tiniest, cutest little micro you've ever seen. And look, we even ended up with some more space in there. So this is a really awesome, versatile frame. I'm super excited. For propellers, we are looking at probably some 2512s by Gemfan. I may explore some others. Some 63mm by 6, huh? How cool would that be? Some 6-bladers. I may order a pack or 2. One other thing. Let's grab a batteria and let's power this guy up and see how it does. Who's ready for the power up, huh? I know I am. Let's try it. She powered right up. I've got LEDs, motor sounded. We're rocking and rolling. I am super stoked. All right, pilot, so this guy is done and ready. I'm going to jump into the configurator, which is super awesome because the Fettec configurator can flash the ESC, OSD, and the flight controller. We're going to get this guy ready. I'm going to put on some rates, and we are going to take it out to the field. Put on some props. Boom. Charge up some packs, and we're going to shred. So I hope that all of my Fettec fans are super stoked. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.